Hey there, in this video I'm going to show you two different methods for assigning an EduProtocol in Google Classroom. Now with this first assignment, I'm going to go ahead and add a collaborative slide deck, which means that I have one slide deck for the class and each student has the ability to edit the slides in the slide deck. I might want to number those slides and then tell students to take their particular number. When I assign it, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that students can edit file. Now, if you are assigning this to multiple class periods, you'll want to make a copy of each one and state math vocabulary period 1, math vocabulary period 2, and then load those up separately. Okay, so let's go ahead and click assign. Now this can be pretty tricky because now students have the ability to edit not only their own slide, but they have the ability to make changes to someone else's slide. So you'll want to monitor that. One thing that I can do is take a look at the grid view instead of the film strip view, and I can see whose bubble is on which slide. So if I see multiple bubbles on a slide, I might want to have a conversation with those students. Another thing you can do, which sometimes works, but sometimes it has a hard time catching up with all the edits that are being made, is you can check the version history. You might also want to remind students that using the undo button and the redo button is something that they can't do while they're working on a collaborative slide because it might undo something someone else did. Now, the nice thing about working on one single slide deck is when it is time to present and you want students to go ahead and share what they learned, all you have to do is click slideshow and then hit the next slide and then keep going. For my second method, that's not so much the case. Okay, for this second method, I'm going to give each student their own Google slide, which prevents them from one, working on someone else's slide, and two, it prevents them from copying from another student if we're all working on the same thing. So when I assign this one, it's just a single slide. Instead of students can view the file, I'll make a copy for each student, and then Google Classroom will go ahead and name that same file with their name. And I'll just click assign. Now with this one, you're going to monitor and present from the same location within Google Classroom. You'll just come to the assignment, click View Assignment, click on the first student's work, and then I can monitor it by clicking Next until I flip through each of my students. Or if I want to check out a particular student, I just use the drop down, find their name, and click on it. And like I said before, this is also where I'm going to present. So I'm going to go ahead and project this slide, and then when it's the next student's turn, I'll hit Next, and so on. All right, so now we have two different ways for assigning EduProtocols in Google Classroom. One where each student gets a copy, and two, on the collaborative slide deck, we want to make sure that all students can edit the file.